morning children, this is Vijay, chemistry lecturer from Ahalaabad Junior College. As we are discussing the NEET series of Unit 1, some basic concept. So in that category, today we are going to discuss about the first unit, some basic concept. From that, some important points to be remembered. So let us see one by one. Cancer treatment that is given by this cisplatin taxol, very important this, and acidothiamidine is the drug which we are using for the AIDS patients. There are different quantities we have discussed in the previous video, like the basic quantities or fundamental quantities and derived quantities. So basic quantities are, there are 7 basic quantities which we have discussed. So we have written here in a short form MLT, LT, AC. So M for mass, L for length, T for time, and L stands for the luminous intensity, and other T, that which this T stands for temperature. Then A is nothing but amount of substance, and C stands for current, electric current. So we have written a short form. So then 1 liter, which we can express it into 10 to the power of minus 3 or meter cube. So we can express 1 liter. Then atmosphere, 1 atmosphere, that is equal to 760 millimeter or torr, which is said to be, and which is also equal to 101.325 Pascal, that is related to, that is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. So this is also very important. And 1 bar, the value for 1 bar, that is 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. This also said to be 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. So Pascal is the unit we are using for this bar and atmospheric pressure. Then 1 calorie, which is always equal to 4.184 joule. 1 joule, which is equal to 10 to the power of minus 7 erg. So joule to erg to joule conversion, this will be important. Then 1 electron volt. 1 electron volt is nothing but charge of the electron. So the charge of the electron is 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule, that is expressed in 1 electron volt. Now here you can see this is representing about the value which are greater than or lesser than each, that is let us see one by one, like 1 calorie which is greater than 1 joule, and 1 joule which is greater than 1 erg. So erg value we know 10 to the power of minus 7 erg for 1 joule, and 1 erg which is greater than 1 electron volt. 1 electron volt is 6.02 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. So these all are very important points to be remembered in unit 1. So few more points also there. Let us see. When we are discussing about matter, so matter which is divided into broadly 2 categories, mixtures and pure substance, and mixtures which are further categorized into 2 types, that is homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Then pure substances are further divided into 2 categories, elements and compounds. Again the elements are further divided into 3 categories. They are metals, non-metals, metalloids or semi-metals. Then these compounds are further divided into 2 categories, like inorganic compounds and organic compounds. This chart to be remembered. So that is also a part of this some basic concept. And when we are discussing about Dalton's atomic theory, this was the first theory related to the assumption of atom. So that was proposed by Dalton. So Dalton's atomic theory. So according to this theory is related to the law of chemical combination, the different chemical combinations. Based on that, this theory was proposed. And according to this theory, matters are composed of atoms, and all atoms are smallest fundamental and undivisible particle. According to this theory, then the atom cannot be created nor destroyed. So these all already we have discussed in Dalton atomic theory in detail. So when we are discussing about this Berzelius theory, Berzelius hypothesis, this is said to be, so according to this, the equal volumes of all the gases which contain the same number of atom under the similar condition of temperature and pressure. So that expresses by this Berzelius hypothesis. Then coming to the different laws of chemical combination. So this already we have discussed in detail. For the law of chemical combination, the first one we are going to discuss about law of chemical conservation, and this was proposed by Lavoisier in the year 1774. Very important, and that was verified by Lantold. So this is also very, very important. So according to this theory, already we have discussed, take it as any chemical change, the total mass of the product always which is equal to the total mass of the reactant. So we have did based on this theory few numericals. And next we are talking about law of definite proportion. This was proposed by Proust in the year 1779. This theory was verified by Starr and Richards. Very, very important. So according to this theory, a chemical compound which always contain the same element which are combining together in the same proportion by the mass. So we know about that. Next we are going to discuss about law of multiple proportion that was proposed by Dalton in the year 1804. That was verified by Berzelius. So according to this, the different weight of an element that combine with a fixed weight of another element which gives or which bear a simple whole number ratio. That is about the law of multiple proportion. And next one is about law of reciprocal. So this was proposed by Richard in the year 1792. This was verified by Starr. And according to this, when two different elements which undergo for the combination with the same weight or the same mass of the third element, the ratio which they combine will either be same. So that is about this law of chemical reciprocal. And next one is about law of combining of volume. So this was proposed by Gay-Lussac. It's also called as gaseous law. And according to this, when gases which are reacting with each other, they bear a simple whole number ratio with one another as well as the product under conditions of the same temperature and same pressure. So that is about law of combining of volume or gaseous law. Then we are discussing about Avogadro's number and Avogadro law. So according to this, under similar conditions of the temperature and pressure, equal volume of the gases contain equal number of the molecules. And Avogadro number, this is a symbol we are denoting with capital N, and at the substitute A, capital A we are writing them. The Avogadro number, that is 6.023 in 10 to the power of 23. This is equal to be 1 mole of any substance. So this is about the Avogadro's law. And the Avogadro's law which are applicable to where it is used for, here are few points. Avogadro law which is used in deriving of molecular formula of a gas and determining of atomicity of a gas and deriving relationship of molecular mass. We know the formula for molecular mass, already we have discussed. Molecular mass is equal to 2 into vapor density. So according to gases, when we are discussing about this Avogadro number, which is the Avogadro number of a gas molecule which occupies always 22.4 liter or 22.4 liter or 22,400 ml. This is the volume at STP. STP stands for standard temperature and pressure. So this is also important. And then when we are studying about the mole concept, a mole of any substance which is always equal to 6.023 in 10 to the power of 23 Avogadro number. 1 mole of molecules, that is said to be 6.023 in 10 to the power of 23 molecules. 1 mole of atom according to the number of atoms present in the given compound. According to that, we can write the number of atoms into 6.023 in 10 to the power of 23. 1 mole of any gas, just now we have discussed, that is 22.4 liter or 22,400 ml at STP. And next one is about Georgi, who was the first person who introduced about MKS system. Next one is about pi, which has infinite number of significant figures. When we are talking about the significant figures, one important point. So when we are talking about mass of 1 mole electron, that is equal to mass of electron into Avogadro value. So mass of 1 mole electron, which is equal to mass of the electron into Avogadro value. Mass of the electron, we know that 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31. And Avogadro value, we know 6.023 in 10 to the power of 23. So multiplying that, you will get mass of 1 mole electron. And when we are discussing about these effervescent substances, these substances like CaSO4.5H2O and Na2CO3.10H2O, these are the different substances. They have the tendency to lose the water in the air. These kind of properties called efflorescence, and these kind of substances are called effervescent substances. And next one is about deliquescent. Deliquescent meaning is some solid substances like NaOH and KOH, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. They have the tendency to absorb the moisture from the air. They can easily absorb the moisture from the air. So these substances are said to be deliquescent substances, and the process is said to be deliquescence. efflorescence and deliquescence. So there are two different terms. And when we are talking about this hygroscopic means like these are the substances are said to be anhydrous. They can easily absorb the moisture from the air. Here are few examples like CaO, calcium oxide, and potassium pentoxide, P2O5. So these are the different terms we are using for the different substances. When we are talking about this polymorphs or polymorphism, so this is the category of the substances. They can show different crystalline forms of a single substance or a single compound like zinc sulfide, that is ZnS. So they can show two different forms like zinc blende and woodsite. So these are the example for these polymorphs. So this is also one of the term we are discussing about. So when we are talking about molar mass is nothing but 2 into vapor density, and vapor density when we are describing vapor density, which is equal to weight into 22,400 divided by volume at STP. So volume at STP, which is given in ml, and here the W stands for the weight of the substance, which is given in gram. So this is about molar mass. Then when we are talking about rate of diffusion, we are expressing this formula R1 by R2 is equal to square root of M2 by M1. So where this R1 and R2 are the different rates of diffusion of two different species, where this M1 and M2 are said to be the molecular mass of the respective different two species. And here is one more formula, that is pi V is equal to W by M RT. So where this pi is said to be osmotic pressure in atmosphere, osmotic pressure, and V stands for volume, which is expressed in liter, volume in liter. And next one is W. W stands for weight of the given substance, that should be written in gram. So weight of the substance in gram. And next R. So R is nothing but universal gas constant, and T stands for the given temperature. So these are expressions from this formula. Next, when we are discussing about specific gravity, we are using the formula mass of the liquid by volume of the liquid, mass of liquid by volume of liquid. Then vapor density, just now we have discussed mass of the volume of the given gas by mass of the volume of hydrogen. These are the different simplest form of formulae. So here you see atom. The term atom that was first introduced by Ostwald. The term element that was first introduced by Robert Boyle. The term molecule which was first introduced by Avogadro. Then when we are talking about this atomicity is nothing but the number of atoms present in a particular molecule of gaseous element. So that is said to be the atomicity. This is also one of the important point. And when we are talking about the different units like atomic mass and molecular mass, so they does not have any single units. So atomic mass and molecular mass does not have units. When we are talking about accuracy and precision, the closeness of the set of values which are obtained from the identical measurement, that is said to be precision. And when we are talking about this accuracy, this refers to the closeness of a single measurement which is always true value. So that is said to be accuracy. So accuracy is a true value and precision is the closeness set of value which is related to the true value. So that is about accuracy and precision. So now we are going to discuss about different methods which we are determining for the atomic mass. First one is about the Dulong method or Petit method. So Dulong method, which represent that atomic mass which is equal to equivalent mass into valency. Here the valency is considered to be approximate atomic mass divided by equivalent mass. That is the way we can find out the Dulong method, the determination of atomic mass. And the second method is vapor density method. So vapor density method, that is nothing but the atomic mass which is equal to the equivalent mass of the metal into the valency. Vapor density already we have discussed earlier. So second method is vapor density method. Third method is about specific heat method. So according to this, the atomic mass of the gaseous element which is equal to molecular mass divided by atomicity. So the third method is about specific heat method. Specific heat method. And the last method, that is isomorphism method or isomorphic method. So according to this isomorphic or isomorphism method, which is based on the law of isomorphism, that states that any compounds which are having identical crystal structures which have the similar constitutions and chemical formulae. Few examples. for this isomorphic method, they are, so these are the few examples for isomorphic method. They are K2SO4 and K2CrO4. Now let us see few methods which we are determining the molecular mass. So the first method is about diffusion method. So this is the method we are determining for molecular mass. Determination of molecular mass, we are following few methods. The first method is about diffusion method. So this method just now we have discussed about R1 by R2 which is equal to square root of M2 by M1. So that is nothing but the different rate of diffusions R1 and R2. These M1 and M2 are said to be their respective molecular masses. And the next method is about again vapor density method. So vapor density method, that is nothing but molecular mass is equal to 2 into vapor density. Vapor density method to find the molecular mass of the given substance. Now we are discussing about the third method. For any volatile liquids or the solids, we are using this method, that is the third method, that is said to be Victor-Meyer method. Okay, so this method is based on the Dalton's law of partial pressure and Avogadro's hypothesis. So this method we are using for volatile liquids or solids. In case the substance given as non-volatile solids, we are going for the one more method, that is called colligative property method. Colligative property method and Victor-Meyer method for volatile and this for non-volatile. So these are the different methods which we are following for determination of the molecular mass. Likewise, there are few methods we are determining for the equivalent mass. So in equivalent mass, again we are following different methods like hydrogen displacement method, oxide formation method, chloride formation method. Hydrogen displacement method, oxide formation and chloride formation. So like hydrogen displacement method, here we are using the formula like mass of the metal which is given divided by mass of the hydrogen which is displaced into 1.008. Like for hydrogen displacement method, where we are using for oxide formation method, mass of the metal by mass of oxygen into 8. So for chloride formation method, we are using the formula mass of the metal by mass of the chlorine into 35.5. Like neutralization method, that is one more method. So neutralization method is also used for determining the equivalent mass. According to this, we are following the formula W by V into N. So here the W is said to be mass of the given acid or the base which is in gram, and V, that is said to be the volume of the given base or the acid which is given in liter, and N stands for the normality of the base or acid. This formula we are using for neutralization method under the determination of equivalent mass. So these are the few important points to be remembered. When we are talking about the mass percent, we are using the formula like mass percent which is equal to mass of the solid by mass of the given solution into 100. Again, in this category we have discussed three different formulae like mass by mass percentage, volume by volume percentage and mass by volume percentage. In the previous video we have discussed about this in detail. Then mole fraction, we are using the formula like number of moles of one compound which is given divided by the total number of moles, that is mole fraction. Then molarity, normality, this also we have discussed in detail. So molarity is nothing but number of moles divided by volume of the solution which is given in liter, where in molality we are using mass of the solvent, that is only one different, and this should be expressed in kg, where we are volume of the solution should be expressed in liter. So that is a major difference between molarity and molality. Then normality, when we are talking about number of gram equivalent divided by volume of the solution. So these are the few important points to be remembered. So far we have discussed in detail about very important points that should be remembered from the unit some basic concept in detail. Next we are going to start unit 2 atomic structure. Thank you children.